And a good evening everybody, welcome to Dutch and Draco. My name is Julian and I'll be your captain for tonight's landing drills in the Su27. Quick briefing about tonight's operations. We'll be flying out for a couple of miles, speed 700 kilometers an hour and altitude between 350 and 450 meters. We'll be doing this with almost full fuel, but we will drop all the payload. So in terms of weight, it's still somewhat challenging. What we are basically doing after takeoff is only allowing enough space for return maneuver, either hard turn or a loop back. We're not too bothered about reaching minimum speed while turning or looping because we have a good enough angle and enough altitude to keep things under control. Once I have the runway in sight, it's landing gear down, flaps down. Two main things I'll be paying attention to is airspeed, that's top left on the HUD, and the sync rate indicator, that's right hand side on the HUD alongside the vertical line. This will be a visual approach landing, no ILS, so it's all down to us to get this baby down safely. As we approach, I'm looking to get the airspeed lower than 330 but no lower than 270, and the sync rate indicated to a manageable 10 meters a second. If you happen to come in too low, just give it a bit of throttle and that will slow down your descent rate. For touchdown, I'm looking to have the sync rate indicator anywhere between 3 and 5 meters a second and airspeed between 270 and 300. A sync rate faster than 5 meters a second will generally damage or destroy landing gear, while one softer than 1 to 2 meters a second means that you may overshoot the runway. With airspeeds greater than 340-350 kilometers an hour on touchdown, there's the risk of popping tires basically. Once we touch down successfully, we are braking. I'm looking to get the speeds under 200 kilometers an hour and then full afterburner again, take it to 220, 230, rotate, take off, reach 600 kilometers an hour, 700, and then do the loop, return as extremely as possible because that's how we do things here.
Minimum speed.
This is also meant to put us in extreme situations from which we do need to recover and still land successfully, which means correcting orientation, attitude, while keeping a close eye on airspeed and sync rate indicator. Even though this is a very maneuverable aircraft, it's still a heavy one, so there will always be momentum and delay after each input. That's why it's important to work with it instead of over-correcting. Smooth operator. I'm only allowing speeds to go this low because I don't want to come out of the loop
Minimum
at
speed.
500 or 600 kilometers an hour, because then that wouldn't give me enough time to line up the landing properly. If I happen to drift laterally while looping, I need to make sure that I'm correcting for that with aileron and rudder. If there's only minor corrections to be done, I'll generally just use rather, whereas if it's major, then it's rolling. And there we have it again, a very manageable 10 meters a second sink rate and 320 kilometers an hour. And from that we can very easily reduce to the required numbers. Okay, for the last landing I've allowed for even less space to maneuver, and hopefully we get this bird down safely. Just make sure to start rolling out while you still have some control authority, otherwise you'll end up on your back
minimum speed
and just crash. Looking to get those magic numbers again, 10 meters a second sink rate and 330 kilometers an hour airspeed. And then second set of magic numbers between 3 and 5 meters a second sink rate and 270, 300 airspeed. And that is all.